What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. Today, I wanted to make a video to talk about how the Chinese are actually still able to participate in the cryptocurrency market. I wanted to take a look at that and go over that based on some news we saw here on Twitter. This came across Ether in the news, so I clicked on that and I saw that and how Chinese Bitcoin buyers are getting around the government ban. So I went on to Google to confirm if this was actually being spoken on and to confirm it. And we found a little bit more official information here on Cointelegraph. This was posted just an hour ago, already has over 7,000 views, 299 total shares. But I thought it was interesting line item to discuss so you guys at least have some insight into what's going on despite these crackdowns in Asia that continually keep coming up. Chinese citizens are still investing in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market despite the government's heavy crackdown. In September 2017, Chinese cryptocurrency exchanges BTCC China, Huobi, and OKCoin were ordered by the government to shut down their businesses. So this was that China FUD that happened back in September that we talk about often, where the price of Bitcoin and the market went down significantly from where it was, although the market was never at these levels. But we overcame that quickly. So at one point, executives of the three cryptocurrency exchanges were prevented from leaving the country due to government investigation into local cryptocurrency exchanges. 3 months later, in December of 2017, China's three largest cryptocurrency exchanges relocated their business to Hong Kong. To those of you who don't know about the dynamic of Hong Kong and China, I will just give a brief insight. Hong Kong is an island. There's another island nearby Hong Kong that is called Macau. So those two islands are former colonies, one of Portugal and one of England. And there was a 100-year lease that the government of England had, and I believe in 1996, they turned over Hong Kong back to China. But the island still functions very much like a Western city, but it's kind of, I don't know if you guys have ever gone to a Chinatown, whether it be New York or San Francisco or LA. If you go to Chinatown, that's kind of like Hong Kong. Hong Kong, the subway systems all have English. Anyways, I'm putting that out there just to give you guys an insight about how Hong Kong functions, but you can cross right over the waterway and end up in mainland China. They have Kowloon, they have Shenzhen, and they have Guangzhou nearby. I've been to these places and I've taken a ferry to Macau, which is a gambling port. I figured I'd throw that out there just because, you know, it's cool to talk about other things other than just crazy crypto talk the whole time. But you have this going on here. They intended to address the rapidly growing demand for Hong Kong-based investors. Shortly after their move, the three trading platforms started to see daily volumes from Chinese investors grow exponentially. Somehow, Chinese investors were managing to circumvent Chinese trading restrictions by using Hong Kong-based exchanges. How is this possible? So, there's a lot of wealth in China, but they artificially keep the currency low to keep their trading power low. That's called currency manipulation. So they make up for this in volume. So there is big money in China because there's a lot of people in China, okay? But it's artificially kept low, the currency rate, the renminbi or the yuan. But the point is that when there's an injection of cash still coming in from people who are not supposed to be participating in the market because their government is trying every last stop to keep them from participating, but they keep coming in, that is when you will see these injections of cash come in quickly and then come out quickly as they have to run like bandits. You know, it's like get in there and get out. It's like that, yeah, it's that bandit mentality. So that could also be affecting the market periodically. If you see lots of injection coming in, it's because one Chinese investor might tell 10 others, and then it spreads like wildfire and a massive injection of Chinese cash comes in, and then all of a sudden they catch on that the Chinese government's investigating and trying to crack down. then you see a whole bunch of money pull out real quickly, and you're like, what's going on? Clearly this is happening in Asia. So I'm pointing this out because we've seen a lot of price action recently happen with Asia, where we saw big money pouring into Ripple. We saw big money pouring into a couple other coins, including Cardano under the Korean won. But once it came out, we also saw a massive Red Sea and we're still in that. So many Asian civilian citizens in various different places, China, Korea, and Japan, obviously, is still allowed to participate. And then you have Singapore and Hong Kong that allow people to participate as kind of sanctuary islands where commerce is different than the People's Republic of China. It's just, I'm putting that dynamic out there for you guys to think about. I know a lot of you guys spend a lot of time thinking about the CME, but if you just look at by volume, there's a big, massive chunk of volume that comes in and out from China that is actually possibly affecting the market even more so than the CME at times. We've seen that. So with less than 1,000 businesses, or with less than $1,000, businesses can be legally created, which allows the opening of business bank accounts at Hong Kong-based financial institutions beginning in December 2017. Many Chinese investors moved their funds from Chinese bank accounts to Hong Kong bank accounts and started to trade cryptocurrencies more effectively bypassing China's restrictions. But unlike China, Hong Kong has a substantially lower supply to meet the growing demand. While China is home to major miners like Bitmain, Hong Kong does not produce much Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. As such, premiums in Hong Kong cryptocurrency market increased, surpassing even that of the South Korean market. On January 18, when the global average price of Bitcoin was around 11,500, Bitcoin was trading at above 13,000 on Huobi Pro. We saw that happen where there was the overall average, even in the Korean won, was up from where it was in the United States. And they're saying that was for Ripple, and I believe they're saying that now for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin was at 11,005, but it was trading at 13, you see. Crystal Hu, a Hong Kong-based finance journalist, noted that traders outside of China have also started to take advantage of the arbitrage opportunity presented by the Hong Kong market. For instance, on January 18, the price of Bitcoin on Coinbase was 11,800. Purchasing Bitcoin from Coinbase and selling it on the Hong Kong-based market would have generated $1,200 in profit. Okay, so they're using it as an arbitrage model to get those coins into the hands of people who are trying to circumvent the Chinese government's restrictions. So Chinese government is concerned. This is a great article by Cointelegraph, by the way. They're really going into detail. They spent some time on this. Hong Kong's exchanges have also integrated widely used fintech applications in China, such as Alipay and Tencent's WeChat Pay. Alipay being Alibaba, which is Jack Ma, which is Justin Sun's homeboy, right? And then you have WeChat, which is another chat application that's really popular in Asia, alongside this other one called Line. If you've never been to Asia, you probably wouldn't really give two hoots and hollering about anything that's related to Line or WeChat, but over there it's very popular chat applications. So this Alipay thing, Alipay is a $60 billion fintech app that is used by more than 50% of mobile users. WeChat Pay, which was only used by 7% of mobile users in 2014, is now being used by more than 40% of mobile users in China. If you wanted to tap into the Chinese market, you would not be able to use Facebook. You would have to use WeChat. You couldn't use YouTube. You couldn't use Facebook. So WeChat would be the way to get in there if you wanted to penetrate that market. Just letting you know. The integration of the two fintech payment networks has increased the accessibility of Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency OTC exchanges for Chinese investors, easing the process of investing in the cryptocurrency market. To prevent Chinese investors from buying digital currency, the Chinese government and the People's Bank of China have asked local banks to disclose any suspicious transactions linked to Hong Kong-based markets. However, even this action will not be able to prevent Chinese investors from accessing Hong Kong-based markets due to apps such as Alipay and WeChat Pay. Very interesting. All right. So the second line item to discuss would be Singapore in this dynamic. And I would also be interested to see if Taipei, Taiwan, how Taipei, Taiwan will play into this. These are islands. If you don't know about Singapore, Singapore functions similarly to the way that Hong Kong functions, except it's off of the Malaysian peninsula basically in the Straits of Malacca, which is the busiest waterway, one of the busiest waterways industrially and commercially in the world. So more shipping comes in and out of the Straits of Malacca than any other place on Earth, and it's at the tip of the Malaysian peninsula, which Singapore is a nation, but it's a small island, very small island, and it's an Asian fusion. You have a lot of people from India, you have people from China, you have people from Europe, you have people from Malaysians. So it's a really interesting city, but it's a fintech hub, financial technology hub, and it's also a hub like Hong Kong is. And if they chase them out of Hong Kong, who's to say they wouldn't just go down to Singapore? And Singapore is just blossoming and blooming, and it is, like I said, heavily influenced by Chinese business investors. So I put this dynamic out there for obvious reasons. If you don't want to know about this, then don't watch these kind of videos. If you find these kind of dynamics interesting, then this is a good channel for you, because I spend a lot of time over in Asia. And also being the fact that many of you are invested in Wabi, VeChain, Walton, Neo, you know that there's many cryptocurrencies that are coming out of that region that are big time players in this market. And some of you are invested in them, whether you know it or not. So big stuff here, guys. Big stuff. And if we just look at the market right now, let's see what's going on with this market. Totally, still saying it, moving sideways. You guys asked me to say what's going up, everybody. I can't say that because we're just running sideways. Let's see if we got anything that's even remotely up. VeChain. This VeChain just keeps going up. Ryblock's big time mover right now. So VeChain and Ryblock's, Stratus. Wow, look at Stratus. BitShares, decentralized exchange over there at BitShares. Man, I was trying to get into BitShares at 3 cents when it got de-indexed by Bittrex. And whoa, Walton. Look at Walton just keep moving. You noticing something here? Lots of Asian. This is an RFID, and so is VeChain. Let's take a look at this Ryblock, because I know a lot of you guys are invested in that, and I've been avoiding it because it was at all-time highs. Let's take a look at these guys. Not a lot of transparency on their website, is there? All I want to know is where they're located out of. I don't really know much about these guys. Does anyone know where Ryblock is out of? Let's check out their Twitter real quick. Nothing on there. Well, they're moving. They're up 31%. Walton's up. See, I hold Walton and VeChain personally, so I'm happy about that, but I'd like to see the whole market be up. I'm also, oh, wow, Dragon Chain up. All right. Definitely hold Dragon Chain, but I've been in Dragon Chain since the very beginning, so I'm not too concerned about that. There's Redcoin moving. Substratum's up. Aragon. Not too familiar with Aragon. Might have to look into that. Air Swap. Ooh, nice. Good to see Air Swap moving like that. Cobb and Hood. Maybe they think it's Robin Hood. Not the same. Theta token. Yeah. IoT chain. Anyways, guys, this is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. Follow us on Twitter if you're not already following us there. Where it just hit 60,000. I put this out there. Some of you guys are all getting all panties in a bundle for whatever reason. I want to know, do you guys think this thing's going to 8,000 or 15,000, or you think it's going to touch both? It's not a big deal, but some of you guys get your panties in a bunch when people ask these questions. What? I mean, I don't get it. Some of you guys are cranky, man. Makes me cranky. I like to be happy. But you guys whiny little babies. It's like having a little baby in the background that just whines. If you're a whiner, yeah. Anyways, I hope you all are having a great evening, great morning, excellent weekend. Hope you guys are enjoying your cup of coffee here, you know. Put a splash of cream in there. What do you guys like? Caramel? French vanilla? Irish cream? What do you like? Anyways, if you're new here, subscribe to this channel. Check us out on Steemit. Also, click that bell next to the notifications to get notified when we, or next to the subscribe button to get notified when we drop videos like this. Like I said, I hope you guys are all doing great. We'll see you next time.